All right, well, welcome everybody. For those of you that don't know me, I am Dave Casiopo, President and CEO of Emfluence, and part of my job is helping guide our product development on our marketing platform, which I believe many of you are users, and I think we have a few people that are interested in becoming users on our call today. And today we're going to go through, this is our June edition of What's New with Emfluence, and we're going to talk about things we've rolled out in the last quarter. We'll give you a sneak peek of some stuff that's getting ready to roll out, and we'll take some questions from you if you have questions. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And the first thing I want to show you is we've added the ability to pause and restart emails that have been throttled. So in this case, we have a campaign that is set to go out to 118,273 recipients. And if you don't want to overwhelm a call center with a campaign that large, or if maybe you want to slowly pace traffic to your website, if you have some goals for targeted traffic, those would be great reasons to throttle your email. There are times, though, when you have an email that's going out in a very high quantity and perhaps you've made an oops or something sad like that, where you want to pause or cancel an email and make a correction. You do have the ability to do that, and we've added some new options for that. So we can see that this email is paused. So I paused it just after it got to about 54 recipients. And if we want to resume or cancel that, we can simply click on resume or cancel. And so the new options here are to either maintain your current throttling, which was sort of our default before, it would just pick up where it left off, would be to stop throttling it and just let it all go at once. And the final thing that we've added here is to change throttling. And so a couple of updates here. One, you can change it. So I could make it go out faster or slower than I originally intended it to. And we had at a client request the option to scale throttling down to a 1 hour throttle. So that has been added. It used to start at 2 hours and now it goes at 1. So simple request from a client. If you have needs like that, keep in mind that you can always ask, and sometimes it's a quick fix for us. Sometimes it takes just a little bit more work. So that is item one. The next thing we want to show you is that we have started to enforce domain name usage. So essentially, you're going to need to register the domains that you want to send from. We're not saying you can't send from multiple domains. What we are saying is that you need to register those domains. So I'm going to go back to a message and we'll see how that sort of plays out here. So if we go into our draft state, I can click on this one called sending domains enforced. And you can see what happens here is when I make an adjustment to the from name. So if I type in David at, it's automatically going to fill in my options for domains. So if I had emarketingplatform.com registered, or any other domains here, I could choose from that list. Previously, we did not enforce this. Everybody was doing it the right way for the most part, but it's sort of a gap in how we deploy campaigns. Occasionally, we would get somebody that's on the board of an association that tried to send from a Gmail domain, and of course, you're going to get terrible deliverability doing something like that because we're not authenticated to send from Gmail, but we are authenticated to send from the domains that you set up and register with us. So that will actually be, it's suggested right now. So it's saying, I think you should use this. As of the July 7th, we are going to have a hard enforcement on that, meaning that if you type something in that is not that, we're going to tell you, hey, you can't use this. And we're also going to prevent the message from deploying. That will impact like 0.001% of our customer base because there's really only a couple of people that we're doing, as I mentioned, sort of from associations and trying to send from Gmail addresses. So it just keeps us in line with best practices for what's going on and what has been going on for a long time. Like I said, it's never really been a problem for us. We just needed to kind of clean up some loose ends there. So, all right, so let's take ourselves to deleting. The next thing was someone asked about deleting a draft from within the compose process. So as I got to the preview test step here, someone just found themselves in situations multiple times where they were composing their message and like, no, I just want to start all over with this. There is now a handy delete button with a nice warning that says, are you sure you want to delete this email? So again, a really small tweak for us at the request of a customer. Possibly a couple of customers, an easy add and a little bit more convenient for you. So All right, let's move on to some of the bigger stuff here. I'm going to switch over to a different browser here, and we're going to look at one of our cooler new features here. So we're going to go to Messages, and we will go to Drafts, and we have now introduced conditional content. So conditional content is basically going to allow you to do if statements in line with your content. And so here's our example here. This would be an onboarding message from Emfluence to a new employee. So we're excited to have you as part of the team, but we don't want to send the same content to everyone. Lots of ways to solve that in our platform. Currently, I could have used a content block here, but we knew that one of the gaps for us was to have the ability to put in conditional content, so if statements. So in this case, what we've done is we've added conditional content that says if, and if we look over here to the right, $sign title, which is our title field. That's the variable for the title in our standard fields, does not equal president or CEO, then include whatever content is in between here and the end if statement. So natural question lots of folks are asking is there the opportunity to do an else? That is coming very, very soon. Right now, you could chain together multiple ifs, and that would probably get you where you need to be unless you have very complex logic, and you end up stringing together a whole bunch of if statements. So this is kind of a really just a phase one launch of this conditional content, and we will be beefing that up and doing lots of cool stuff. The very next thing you will see is else statements. So you do have a choice of operators here. So if value one equals, does not equal, is less than, is greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. So lots of options there, and then any content that you want to put in there. So to get this content in here, and I'm just going to delete this so you can see how easy it is to do this. We'll remove these things and take that out. You're just going to go to our conditional content. So we've released it in beta form. It's very new. It has been tested. It is solid. We think it's in a pretty flawless state, but we want you to use it and test it with caution for just a little bit while we're sure we have enough usage under our belt to certify it as an actual rollout to the application. But it's there and available to everyone. So simply going to type in $sign title and equals, or in this case does not equal, and we'll do president / CEO, and then we'll put our conditional content here. So I'm going to go over to our content and I'm going to put in an image. Double click that. And we'll go to this Maven link image here and select that. So essentially what we're saying here is anybody but the CEO is going to get a welcome letter that says, hey, go check out Maven Link, our project management software. So with that in place, let's go take it for a little test drive here. So we'll save, we'll hit next, and we're in preview test mode. So we can see what it looks like here in the preview. If we preview it for an actual contact, first we'll do me, and my title is President CEO, so we should not see that content, and we don't. And now we'll change it over to Natalie, and she should see that content. So here is our link to our Maven Link video. So pretty cool stuff. Like I said, it's our first step into this. It's already really powerful just in that state. We'll have else added very soon here, and then we'll continue to beef up that conditional content within campaigns. So taking personalization to another level, and we love to do that kind of stuff, and hope you guys get a chance to use that. So, all right, we are going to now take a look at our next item, which is grouping system links in reporting. So I'm going to switch browsers again, and we are on the report page of a deployed campaign here. And we can see that now we've rolled up our system link. So the unsubscribe link is a system link. Because each unsubscribe link is unique to the individual who's subscribing. Prior to this rollout, you would see every single one listed here in a row, and it was a little bit cumbersome to deal with. So all those are now rolled up. So you see your, if anybody has clicked on it at all, it'll show up here, and we have 3 unsubscribes on this email, and we have 1 view as web page, and as those additional ones come in, they'll continue to roll up with that message there. So that covers the bulk of the significant updates. There's a few other tweaks and things in our email section. But let's take a look at workflows. We've made a quick update there as well. So we're going to switch back over to Firefox and we'll go to our workflows. And we're going to take a look at this return to work survey workflow. So what we've done now is given you the ability to unpublish. So had multiple requests from people that are, as things happened over the course of the last year, to have a quick way to just stop all their automated campaigns, all their workflows. Let's just say there's some significant event in the country, and it now becomes insensitive to sort of be sending out email campaigns and workflows and things like that that aren't aware of what's going on around you. People ask for a quick way to shut things down. And so you do have that now by clicking unpublish. And so when you unpublish the workflow, it's going to put it into a draft state. So that's going to replace your current draft. And it's going to then tell you that you have how many active emails you have in the workflow, and any pending recipients will be sent according to each email schedule unless the active emails are paused. So we've given you the ability to also pause those emails when you unpublish. So effectively shutting down the entire workflow very quickly. So again, that was a request from several clients who felt like they needed that capacity to not have to go in and individually stop campaigns that were running. All right, let's go and take a look at gamification real quick. So as you log in on the home page, you'll see achievements, and hopefully everybody's had a good chance to look at this. It's a way to get points for doing things within the system, and a way for us to encourage you to engage with the system. So if you click on Get More, you can see all the things that you can get points for. So sending your first email, creating a landing page, creating a campaign, workflow publishing, dynamic group creation. So our way to encourage you to explore the platform and get some points for it. So posting to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Our newest ones, we're rewarding people for longevity as a user. So if you've been in the platform for a year, you'll get 50 points for that. For 5 years, 150 points, 10 years, 300 points, 3 years, 100 points. Also, to be becoming an Instagram poster is a new one for us. And so we'll get into what's new here with that right now. So want to briefly talk through how you get points. So there's points for utilization. So doing things in the platform. And again, if you've gone through our certification or training with Alan or any other team member, you've done lots of these things in your in a demo account or in a training account. If you get in and actually do them in your own account, we'll be able to monitor whether or not you've done those activities, and you can get points, and then you can redeem those points, and also take a look at the leaderboard, see what kind of rewards you can redeem for. So there's a utilization category, you actively doing things in the platform. There is an advocacy category as well. So if you give us a review on Capterra, G2 Crowd, Trust Radius, Facebook, Google, Clutch, any of those get you points. If you submit a case study to us that you allow us to publish, we'd love for you to do that. Sending us a referral is a big point getter, of course. And if you refer 5 clients that sign up with us, another big bonus there, and 10 points. And if you're willing to act as a reference for us to prospect that we have that wants to talk to a customer. And the final category is participation. So are you responding to our monthly survey? Have you attended certification, gone through platform training, or gone through advanced certification? So lots of, we hope, fun ways for you to kind of gamify the process of doing your job every day and then get rewarded for that. So we'll take a quick look at our rewards. And so you start off with a simple sticker, get to some swag here, can make a donation to Children International, get a Christopher Elbow gift card, roastery or Strawberry Hill Povatizza. We've got t-shirts and things. So even all the way up to an Apple Watch if you get enough points for something like that. So take a look at that if you've never explored it and see if you can get yourself some points. And meanwhile, let's take ourselves over to Instagram. So we're going to go over to options, and we're going to manage accounts. And this is where you connect all of your accounts for social and other things. I'm going to click on new accounts, and you can see we have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Google Analytics. Instagram is the new one for us, and we waited and waited and waited to finally get permission from Facebook/Instagram. for third parties to be able to post, and they finally released that ability for us. Simply click on the Instagram icon. You're going to be asked to verify your account, and that should take us over to Facebook, and continue as me, and it'll tell us which accounts I have access to. So if you have multiple ones here, you would be able to select from them. We'll confirm, continue, and that account is now verified, and we could quickly post a message. So you're going to do it just like you do with any other campaign. Give it an internal title, assign it to campaigns if you want, and then create your message and schedule that message if you want to schedule that message. Also save it as a draft. So took a long time for us to get, and every other provider essentially, to get the capacity to do that. But once we got it, we very quickly moved and rolled that out. So I hope you get a chance to go in and connect your accounts and start using that whenever you're ready. All right, so we are going to switch over to a different browser here. I'm going to look at a couple of updates to contact records. So we'll go over to Safari, and we're going to look for Natalie's contact record. Oops. And let's see here. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start showing point values for individual pages. So if I go to contact scores here and click on so I have 3 contact scoring models in place. I have the original one, which was just a normal one that we set up and said leave it at the default values. We use a long-term model and a short-term model, so 365 days and 90 days. But let's just take a peek at this and how the scoring is working there. So you can see for a view for an email, we get a point, a click, we get 4 points. But let's take a look at the actual point values that Natalie's getting. We can just expand the original model here, and we can see that you got a point for this view, a point for another view, 3 points for viewing a particular web page, 3 points for viewing another web page, and another point for on this day for viewing an email. So if you're curious to know how Natalie got to the score she got to, you can drill down on that individual contact record and get that value. Let's see here. Okay, so let's take a look at individual scoring for pages. So I'm going to go back to contacts, or actually we go to options. Through fairly frequently from folks after we rolled out our contact scoring model was to assign specific values to specific pages. So you have to embed our tracking pixel on a website page that you own. And once you've done that, you can then specify specific pages and specific values. So what you can see here is we have this set up for 3 points for anybody that visits the pricing page of our emarketingplatform.com site. And sorry, the default value is 3 points. The override value for that page is 10 points. So point being there that we're trying to indicate intent. So if someone is actually looking at pricing, they're far more serious about whether or not they're ready to buy than if they're just looking at features and things like that. A demo, if they actually visit the demo page, we're going to boost their score by 5 points as well. And so you can add as many pages as you'd like here and as many custom values as you like there. And that score model, so you know who you should be connecting with and who is maybe a long-term play that needs to be nurtured for a longer period of time. So again, that was several client requests, including, of course, Natalie on our team, who was very anxious to have that feature and immediately put it into use. All right, so let's go over to a quick update on landing pages. This is really just a kind of a convenience item that we've added, but if you are going to use an alternate URL, and that's what we recommend you do in most cases, and so that means that you're going to set up a subdomain that points to our server. And so we use several, and it can, if you don't remember exactly what the ones are that you use, we put a little helpful tip here. So, and this is to secured subdomains. And so as soon as I click on the HTTPS, it shows me a list of the ones that have been registered. So we've got support.emfluence.com, ppc.emfluence.com, more.emfluence.com, and more.emarketingplatform.com. So those are all existing subdomains that accurately point to our servers. So I can click on any one of those and then name my page anything I want. So, oops. And it will double check to make sure that that URL is available, and then you can start posting to pages instantly. So just as, like I said, a small convenience fix there on our landing pages. Let's go over to reporting real quick. So I'm going to go to, let's see, what do we want to find here? Let's go over to groups, and we're going to go take a look at group level reporting. Had a specific request for daily change on the growth rate of our group, individual group, and so now as a downloadable file. So here's how you download the group reporting function, and then we can see what data is reported. So you have the date, you have the available and total counts, and then you can see on a daily basis how many contacts you've added to that specific group. So if you're looking to do some reporting outside of the platform, this is a handy data set to give you daily growth charts. All right, and let's see what else we have here. Okay, so a quick one, there's nothing really to show here, just another security update. We're constantly fine-tuning security throughout the system. So now as you, if you reset a password, you will be required to log in immediately with the new password. Small fix there, but it's kind of an important one for us, and hopefully something that you don't have to do too frequently, although it is a good idea to change your password on some regular cadence. But know that when you do change it, you'll get logged out and need to log back in with that new one. All right, so the final one that I want to show you is we'll go to a contact record, and we're very excited about where we're headed with this one. So let's go back to Natalie's contact record here. And we can see there is a new field added to the system. So I'm going to scroll down just a little bit, and we have a mobile phone number. So we are now gearing up to add SMS to the application. In our efforts to do that, we're rolling out bits and pieces of the required components of that. The first one is a mobile number. So I know a lot of folks have already got a custom field for mobile phone number. There is now a system field for phone number. So if you have mobile numbers and you want to copy them over, you could use the bulk update tool to do that. But we're just going to make up a number here for Natalie. So +1. Oops, let's see, 555 dash. Okay, and we'll save, and we are going to format that for you automatically. So we'll accept lots of input values, but this will ultimately be the format value that gets used for SMS messaging within the system. So you cannot send an SMS yet from the application, but it is coming soon. Like I said, we're building out bits and pieces of that, so it's not too early to start asking your customers if you can have permission, because SMS is absolutely a permission-based form of marketing. So start thinking about how to gather permission for that now. And we can certainly help you think up some ways to do that as well. So second piece on that, when we go over to our groups, we'll go to our contacts again. We've added some columns. So here we have available email and total email. So this is, again, your total number of email addresses you have in our system minus your held and suppressed contacts. You now have a total SMS value as well. And so that's going to be everyone who has a valid phone number in our system. As we build this out further, we will also have a available SMS number for you as soon as we start to get data back from our partners. So we have partnered with Twilio for this. So they will be the sending engine that actually deploys the campaigns. We will push content and campaigns to them and pull data back from them. It'll be a seamless experience for you as a user. With that, a couple of other things. So if we go to search contacts, you can now search by mobile number. And in addition to that, we've added the ability to query by mobile number in the query builder. So if we go to mobile number and we say is not blank, we should get about 3 contacts that have a mobile number. All right, so like I said, small steps forward. There's actually quite a bit of buildup to do just to get to those steps. You'll see this start to roll out at an accelerated pace. So little bits and pieces, and you'll know about those when we release the fix, which is our approximately once a month newsletter that gives you updates to everything that's going on. And what we've done to either tackle bugs if there are any bugs, but also to roll out new features that that are part of our regular roadmap, and also the features that you guys have requested. So that is what I have for you today. A pretty quick session. I'm just going to check and see if there are any questions right now. I'm not seeing any in the queue, but I'll give you just a minute if you have any questions about anything you've seen. If you have colleagues that were not able to catch this live, we are recording it and we will be putting it out in an email later. There'll be a link to it, as well as it'll be hosted somewhere for you, so you can share it to colleagues that have not seen the episode today. So, not seeing any questions right now. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it, and hope to catch you on the next episode.
Dave, you do have a question here
Oh,
on
I do. Okay.
on SMS
Yeah.
platform. Will there be a stop or an opt-out function?
Absolutely, yeah. That will be enforced as well. So we'll have some mechanisms in there, so that if you do opt out, it will be we'll know from Twilio. We will also know if you opt out from within our platform. So there's really two types of ways you can stop someone from getting a campaign. If someone replies stop, Twilio is going to intercept that, and we're going to automatically pull that back into emfluence. If someone calls you and says, "Hey, stop sending me text messages," you'll also be able to suppress them from SMS messaging right within emfluence, and we will combine those two sources into your opt-out list essentially for you. All right, and Natalie has reminded folks that we do have a review challenge happening right now. So we need to keep reviews fresh on all of the sites. And if you would do us a favor and take a few minutes to go into some of those sites, there's an email that's out about the review challenge. If you have questions about it, you can reach directly out to Natalie about that. And we'd love to get some current reviews from you there. All right, and we did have a question that Natalie looks like she answered as well, which was about multiple posts for social. We've seen that request a couple times now, and so we'll be taking a look at that, and we'll figure out how to get that implemented for you as well. I don't have a timeline on that yet, but we'll get one for you. All right, Natalie, are you seeing anything else?
That looks like all the questions we have for now.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a fantastic day.